Y'all know that for a long time now, as a matter of fact, I can tell you the exact number of days. 363 days I have been growing out my hair. I announced last March that I was not cutting my hair until we had a new president-elect of the United States of America. And I did that when Joe Biden could have very well and very easily won re-election. Well, Joe Biden eventually left, and some folks said, Murphy, you can cut your hair now because you know you'll have either Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. And I said, no, I'm going until November 5th. And I felt so good about the results of the election. I said, I'm going all the way to Inauguration Day. And I felt so good about that. I didn't know what to do with myself, and I did not know who would cut my hair. Well, now, on March 4th, just over a year after I started growing it out, my hair will be cut at the Nashville Palace. It is a part of our big evening with Super Talk 99.7 WTN event. It will include Dan Mandis, Chad Benson, Chris Hand, Brian Wilson, all of whom either are bald or have very short haircuts. Speaking of bald, Ken Weaver will be there. Speaking of shorter hair, Chris Webber will be there. Joan Jones will be there. I will be there, and I think I have the longest hair on staff.
I'm not bald. I've got a Uranus, but I'm not bald.
That's true. You're not. I just wanted to
No, never mind.
I just wanted to see if you were listening. Now, Mandis, he's bald. So where was I? Oh, I think Joan might have me beat in the hair length category.
A little bit, yeah. Pretty similar,
so. It is pretty similar, and it's pretty good length. Well, we looked far and wide to find the right person to do the job, and I believe we found that person, and I believe he joins us on the Matt Murphy Show this evening. His name is Noah Peters, better known as the Singing Barber, and he's on the Matt Murphy Show tonight. Mr. Noah, how are you, sir?
Matt, I have been sitting on my hands all day to keep from clapping about it. I am so glad to be on this thing with you all, and I can't wait to get there.
Man, I can't wait to have you. You are all over the joint. And listen, I just became aware of you and familiar with you, but man, I don't like this fan base you've got, Noah, because we might fill the place. And you know, if we fill the place, the buzzer clippers come out, right?
Yeah, and I am here to tell you, you better be nervous, Matt, because I believe it's going to happen.
Noah, tell us a little bit of, you've been everywhere, man. You've been on the American Idol. You've been on I Can See Your Voice. Just give folks a little bit of your background.
Yeah, so I grew up in the country. I am from Kentucky, and I live in Tennessee now, and I pretty much just like to make friends with people and be nice to people. So I just sing a little and cut a little, and people just show up from all over the world to come sing in my shop.
Did you start singing first, or did you start cutting hair first?
Well, Mom said that I hummed before I could talk, so I believe I started singing first, but I wasn't there I don't really remember it. So.
Oh, okay. And how long have you been cutting hair?
I've been cutting hair over 10 years.
And do you have a shop? Tell everybody. Where do you cut? Are you just going all over the country now, or what? How are you doing that?
Yeah, so I travel all over and cut all kinds of people, but my main shop, my home base is in Benton, Tennessee, middle of nowhere, right on the Georgia line.
Oh man! Well, no, I know Benton. I know your area or neck of the woods well. I go through there to visit family sometimes. I got folks back in Georgia, and so I'm well aware of where you are. So, what inspired you? Did your customers inspire you to take this to television? Because you've been on so many different. Talk to us about the television experience.
Yeah, so I have always been against television and social media until I had to have it. And so I learned that people, for some reason, just like to watch people have a good time. So what we started doing, we just started singing in the shop, and people recorded it on their phones. And then it blew up, Matt. And ever since, that's about all I do with my life. I just sing and walk around that barber chair.
What is your do you have a particular genre that you prefer over others?
Yeah, I grew up real country, but I love them all. But I think country is probably my main genre.
Are we an old school guy, Noah, or we do a little bit of everything? Give me like a sample of what you might throw out Tuesday night at the Nashville Palace.
Yeah, Kentucky Bluebird. You know that one, Matt?
I don't. Let's go.
Kentucky Bluebird. Keith Whitley now. Come on.
Now see, I know Keith. That's pretty. That's old school, baby.
So Kentucky boy too.
I love that.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I'm
love
so excited to meet y'all, man. It's going to be so fun.
We're gonna have an absolutely fabulous time. I can't wait. I don't want over 700 people to be there though, because I like, I run my mouth for a living, Noah, and sometimes I just shoot off my mouth before my brain goes into action. And I did that when I said, you know what, if we fill this joint at Nashville Palace, which is a pretty big place. Have you ever been to Nashville Palace?
I haven't. This will be my first time, and I am super pumped.
Well, it's old. I mean, it's old school. It's got that big old floor for line dancing, and it's an old school joint right across the street from the Gaylord Opryland Hotel, right up down the way from the Grand Ole Opry House. And I asked my producer, Chris Weber, to look up the capacity, and it's 725 official. And I said, well, if we get that many folks, I won't just cut my hair. I'll get a buzz cut.
Buzz cut.
Yeah, and see now, and then your man Michael contacted me and said, "Hey, Noah Peters might be willing to cut your hair, the Singing Barber." And I said, "I'm all in," and I looked you up online. And after I had said this, I agreed to all of this. I'm just telling everybody the story. I agreed to all of this, and then I looked Noah up online. Do y'all know how many followers Noah Peters has online?
Just a few?
Yeah, just a couple million. That's all.
All right.
And that's just on the TikTok. He's got another 700,000 on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Noah, you're making me a little nervous.
It makes me nervous to have that many followers.
Oh, could you ever imagine that when you were cutting hair back in the day, that you would have almost 3 million people total following you on social media?
Yeah, it scares me to death. Being a mountain kid, we're not used to all this, so it still blows my mind every day that people know my name.
That's awesome. Did you would you consider your experiences on television? I mean, did you come away with them in a positive way? Were they positive experiences for you?
I've heard a lot of positive and negative from people, but I got lucky, Matt. Both shows were just phenomenal, and the friends and the connections I made were just out of this world. I loved it.
Well, I absolutely am. I love what you're doing. I love watching your videos. They're so awesome. People, y'all need to go see him. He's the Singing Barber on Instagram. I'm not on the TikTok anymore. What are you on the TikTok, Noah?
The Singing Barber on TikTok.
There you go.
Across all platforms.
There you go. You can find him on either of those platforms, and you'll see him Tuesday night at the Nashville Palace. Doors open at 6:00. Well, they officially open at 3, but Noah will be there. So what can I anticipate on the night in question, Noah? What are we talking about?
Well, a lot of people are probably going to call you Samson and me Delilah because your hair is coming off, Matt. We're going to have to time. It's going to be awesome.
See, originally, this is making me incredibly nervous because I was hoping originally Noah couldn't get off the road in time, but we were going to have Noah up in Nashville and we were going to sit in the studio together. And I thought maybe, off air, away from all of these microphones, I could say, okay, Noah, what can you do with my hair? But I mean, he's coming into this sight unseen now, and it makes me very queasy.
You and me both, brother.
Should I wash it?
No, please don't wash it. I ain't used to all that now. I'm not as fancy as I.
So you just come as you are. Just you'll figure it out. You'll wet it down.
Pour up some spit on them clippers, and we'll go at it.
All right, man. Well, listen, Noah, I can't wait. Tuesday night, I invite people to go get tickets at 997WTN.com. I want you to bring a lot of your fans, about 720 of them, okay?
We'll do it. We'll do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother, and we appreciate you. There's Noah Peters. He's the Singing Barber. He's going to be with us at the Nashville Palace March 4th. That is this coming Tuesday night. I've been growing out my hair for 363 days, and we're going to get it cut off. My commitment has been this. If we get to capacity in this facility, I'm getting a buzz cut. Currently, we have a few tickets to sell. I'll just say it that way. A lot of y'all are coming. In the hundreds, but we have hundreds more to go. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's get them.
And it's still at the Grand Council as to whether or not employees count because
they count. They definitely count.
Oh, are you a part of the Grand Council now?
Well, I'm the chairman.
All right. Folks need to tell me these things before I appeal to the Grand.
It's on a need-to-know basis, man.
Grand Council, I suppose so.
We might have to grab a bunch of tourists and bring them into the building.
Don't you go over there to Cooters and start soliciting. It still wears me out that the Cooters is still around. I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh,
It's
yeah.
great. It's a
got
landmark.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. It's Cooters, and I think it's Willie Nelson and Friends right next door.
I think so, yeah.
And then on the other side's the Edwin Watts. I've been to that golf shop for a little bit. And then right there's the Nashville Palace.
Right.
It's across the street from the Gaylord Opryland Hotel. Y'all come and see us. In all seriousness, we'll have a great time. All of this is about the State of the Union address that's happening at 8 o'clock that night. Donald Trump will present his address to the nation and to all of us assembled at the Nashville Palace. But more important, it is our first opportunity to get together since Donald Trump won election. I mean, we have not done an event like this, with the holidays and everything. We've not had an event like this since November 5th when we were out at the Wilson County Fairgrounds. So it will be Dan Mandis, Joan Jones, yours truly, Matt Murphy, Chris Hand, Chad Benson, Brian Wilson is making a return to the airwaves on the night. Plus, in addition, Ken Weaver will be doing news live and in person that evening. It's a first. Ken Weaver on location doing his news broadcast. Chris Webber will be there as well, presenting the talk television side of things. And so we're all very excited. And I hope that you are there, if for no other reason to watch me get my hair shorn like a sheep.
Shorn. Excellent.
I mean, here's the way I look at it. A lot of people have asked me about this. Said, are you really going to get a buzz cut? And I was like, look, I have a lot of outs. I mean, a lot of them at my fingertips. I have outs aplenty. But I don't have a hair on Uranus. If I didn't make good on this.
That's true.
And so if we fill the joint and some official fire marshal in some official capacity tells me nobody else can come in, well, there you go.
It'll all come off.
Otherwise, we're just getting a snip here and a snip there.
That'll be disappointing.
No, it's all good. You know what I think I'm going for? I don't mean to sound like too much of a girly man here, but I think I'm going for the dude in The Big Lebowski. I think that's what I'm going for.
I mean, you already got that.
I think I got to make it look intentional. You think that's what I'm doing now?
I don't know what you're doing now.
That's neither do I, really. Oftentimes I remind myself of, if you've ever seen Heath Ledger's Joker in whatever Batman movie that was.
Yeah, that was a good one.
My favorite line in that movie is when somebody says something to him and he looks and he says, "Do I look like a guy that has a plan?"
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm not a guy that has a plan, but you should plan to be with us, Nashville Palace, March 4th. It will be a lot of fun. Tickets available at 997WTN.com.